Why merit matters more than luck. Imagine this. One day you walk into a store, buy a lottery ticket, and out of millions of people, you win. Suddenly, your life changes overnight. The cameras flash, the money pours in, friends and strangers alike come knocking at your door. For a moment, it feels like you've touched the stars. But here's the twist. Fast forward a few years. Studies have shown that a surprising number of lottery winners end up broke, some even in debt, more lost than they were before their lucky break. Why? Because while luck placed riches in their hands, nothing within them was prepared to hold on to it. And that brings me to a simple but profound truth. Luck can lift you up, but only merit, what I'll call spiritual wealth or inner goodness, can keep you there. Let's pause for a second. Think about the people you admire most. Is it really their luck that makes them admirable? Or is it their character, the way they handle challenges, the kindness they show others, their steady resilience in the face of storms? Luck may have played a role at certain points, but their lasting greatness always comes from merit. In Buddhist wisdom, merit is not just about doing good deeds for some kind of reward. It's a deeper kind of energy that you cultivate through generosity, compassion, integrity, and wisdom. Imagine it like planting seeds in the soil of your life. Every act of kindness, every honest choice, every moment you resist anger or greed and instead choose patience and clarity, those are seeds of merit. And unlike luck, which is random and fleeting, merit grows roots. It creates stability. It follows you like a shadow, shaping your experiences in ways luck never can. Here's another way to see it. Think about two people who both receive a sudden fortune. The first has lived with wisdom and responsibility, always caring for others, always mindful. The second has lived carelessly, chasing pleasures, ignoring discipline. Who do you think will use that fortune to build something lasting? Who will lose it just as quickly as it came? The answer is obvious. Merit turns luck into blessings. Without merit, luck can quickly become a curse. And maybe you've seen this in real life. Someone gets a sudden promotion not because they work hard but because of timing or chance. Yet, without the merit, the skill, the humility, the heart to lead, they soon crumble under the pressure. On the other hand, someone else may not rise as fast, but through patience, effort, and goodness, they build something enduring. Their success doesn't collapse overnight, because it's rooted in who they are, not just in what they stumbled into. So here's the big question I want to ask you. Are you living your life waiting for luck, or are you building your merit? Luck is seductive because it promises shortcuts. It whispers, maybe tomorrow you'll get a windfall. Maybe the right person will just appear and change everything for you. But luck is a visitor. It comes and goes without warning. Merit, on the other hand, is like a loyal companion. Wherever you go, it goes with you. And let's be real, life is unpredictable. None of us can control the lottery of chance. But every single day, we can control how we act, how we treat others, and how we nurture the qualities inside ourselves. That's where real power lies. I'll share something personal. In my own life, I've had moments of incredible luck, an opportunity one didn't fully deserve, a door that opened at the perfect time. But I've also noticed that those moments of luck only turned into lasting blessings when I had prepared myself through effort, kindness, and patience. When I wasn't ready, when my merit wasn't strong, the luck slipped right through my fingers, almost like sand that couldn't stay in my hand. Maybe you've felt the same. And isn't it fascinating how the people we call lucky often aren't relying on luck at all? Take someone like the Buddha himself. From one perspective, you could say he was lucky to be born a prince. But that luck didn't define him. What truly mattered was the merit he had cultivated through countless acts of compassion and wisdom. So much so that even when he left the palace behind, he carried a richness no one could take away. So, let's return to that opening image of the lottery winner. Without merit, that sudden wealth often destroys more than it gives. But imagine a person with deep merit receiving that same fortune. They'd know how to share it, how to protect it, how to use it wisely for themselves and others. In their hands, luck becomes a blessing, not a burden. And that's why I believe this. Merit is more important than luck. Because luck might bring you the opportunity, but merit is what ensures you can hold on to it, grow it, and transform it into something meaningful. So the next time you find yourself wishing for luck, maybe ask a different question. What can I do today to grow my merit? It could be as small as offering a kind word, as steady as keeping your promises, as powerful as forgiving someone who hurt you. Each act adds to your invisible wealth. And unlike luck, no one can take it from you. Because here's the final truth. Luck is a moment. Merit is a lifetime. White right pointing backhand index, what do you think? Have you ever experienced a moment where luck seemed to give you something, but only your preparation or your character allowed you to keep it? Or maybe the opposite. Luck came and went, but it slipped away because you weren't ready? I'd love to hear your reflections. And remember, this is just the beginning. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into how to actually build merit in daily life. Simple practices anyone can do, no matter where you are in your journey. The fundamental difference between luck and merit. Have you ever wondered why some people stumble into sudden wealth or success, only to lose it just as quickly, while others seem to quietly build a life of stability and joy that lasts for decades? On the surface, we might call the first lucky and the second unlucky. But if we look deeper, there's something much more profound at play. Let's start with luck. Luck is random. It's like a coin toss, like the roll of dice. It comes without warning, and it disappears just as suddenly. You might be lucky to be in the right place at the right time, lucky to win a game, lucky to inherit money, or lucky to meet someone who opens a door for you. But here's the thing, luck has no foundation. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't care whether you're ready for it or not. It can sweep into your life like a gust of wind and vanish just as quickly, leaving you wondering if it was ever really yours. Now, contrast that with merit. Merit, in Buddhist wisdom, is not random. It is the natural fruit of your actions, intentions, and the way you choose to live. It grows slowly, steadily, almost invisibly, like the roots of a tree spreading beneath the soil. Merit is the accumulation of kindness, honesty, generosity, and patience. It's built when you resist taking shortcuts, when you help others without expecting reward, when you cultivate integrity even when no one is watching. Unlike luck, merit doesn't vanish overnight. It creates stability. It doesn't just give you something, it prepares you to hold, protect, and expand what you have. Let me tell you a simple story to make this clearer. Imagine two people both receive a sudden windfall of money, say, $1 million. The first is someone who has never practiced self-discipline, who has lived carelessly, chasing pleasures, ignoring responsibility. For them, the money feels like endless fuel for indulgence. They buy lavish cars, gamble, surround themselves with people who only want their wealth. Within a few years, the money is gone, and often, so is their peace of mind. The second person, though, has cultivated merit over many years. They have lived with gratitude, generosity, and wisdom. When they receive that same $1 million, their choices are different. They know how to invest, how to share, how to create something lasting. They use the money not just for themselves but for the benefit of others. In their hands, the windfall grows, and their life expands in richness. Not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally. Both received the same stroke of luck. But only the one with merit could transform it into true blessing. The other, their lack of merit turned luck into suffering. And here's the fundamental difference, stated simply, luck is a visitor. Merit is a home you build. Luck comes and goes without reason. Merit stays with you, supporting you for the long journey of life. I sometimes think of it this way. If life were a river, luck would be like a sudden wave that lifts your boat for a moment. It feels exciting, even exhilarating. But when the wave passes, if your boat isn't strong, you sink. Merit, on the other hand, is the strength of the boat itself. With a strong boat, you don't need to wait for waves. You can travel the river steadily, safely, no matter what the water does. And this isn't just philosophy. It's something we see all around us. Think about people who come from nothing, no lucky break, but who build their lives through steady effort, honesty, and kindness. Over time, they create stability, trust, and respect that no one can take away. That's merit at work. On the other hand, think of celebrities or public figures who seem to have it all handed to them. Fame, money, opportunities, but without inner grounding, their lives spiral out of control. That's the fragility of luck without merit. So let me ask you, in your own life, have you ever had a moment where luck gave you something, but you weren't prepared to hold on to it? Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or even money. And have you also noticed times when your steady efforts, your patience, your goodness, your merit, created outcomes that lasted much longer than any lucky break? For me, the answer is yes. I've had moments when something seemed to fall into my lap, only for me to realize later that I wasn't ready. But the times that truly shaped me were the ones where I quietly invested in merit. learning patience, practicing compassion, staying committed even when no one else noticed. Those were the seeds that grew into stability and joy. The truth is, we all crave luck because it feels magical, effortless, like life suddenly smiling on us. But the deeper truth is this: without merit, luck is hollow. It's a bubble that bursts. With merit, even small moments of luck become powerful. And even without luck, life is still full of meaning, because merit itself is a source of inner wealth. So maybe the question isn't, when will I get lucky? Maybe the real question is, how can I grow my merit today? Because merit is something no one can give you and no one can take away. It is yours, and it travels with you from one chapter of life to the next. In the end, luck is temporary. Merit is enduring. Luck may start the story, but merit determines how the story unfolds. And the good news? Every choice you make, every act of kindness, every honest moment, you're building your merit right now. White right pointing backhand index so. Which one are you chasing, luck or merit? And how might your life change if you invested less energy in waiting for luck, and more in cultivating the quiet, steady power of merit? In our next video, we'll go deeper into how to actively create merit in everyday life, not in some abstract spiritual sense, but in practical ways that change how you live and how you experience the world. Luck is like a passing breeze. Have you ever felt that rush of relief when help comes at exactly the right moment? Maybe a stranger covered your bill when you forgot your wallet. Maybe a friend offered you a job just when you were about to give up. In those moments, it feels like luck has blown into your life like a fresh breeze on a hot day. Unexpected, refreshing, almost magical. But here's the question: what happens next? Because the truth is, luck alone doesn't guarantee lasting change. Like a breeze, it passes quickly. If your heart and mind aren't prepared, if your foundation isn't steady, you can just as easily lose that opportunity as quickly as it came. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who is down on their luck financially. Out of nowhere, a kind person steps in and offers them a chance, a job, a loan, or maybe even a gift of money. For a moment, it feels like salvation. But if that person's mindset is still rooted in carelessness, greed, or resentment, what happens? They might squander the money, quit the job, or fall back into the same destructive patterns. The luck was real, yes, but without the right inner qualities, it slipped through their fingers. This is why Buddhist teachings remind us, results come from causes and conditions, not from chance. In other words, what truly sustains us isn't the random breeze of luck, but the deeper patterns of our actions, our merit, our choices, our character. Think of it like planting a garden. Luck is like a sudden rainfall. It can nourish your plants for a day. But if you never planted seeds, if the soil isn't fertile, that rain doesn't matter. It just washes away. Merit, however, is the seed you've sown over time. When rain comes, your garden flourishes. Without seeds, the rain is wasted. I've seen this in real life. A young man once told me about receiving a scholarship he never expected. He hadn't worked hard in school, but by some strange chance, he was given the opportunity. For a moment, it was like the wind lifted him. But because he hadn't built discipline or focus, he wasted the chance, skipping classes, failing exams, losing the scholarship. The luck was there, but the lack of merit meant it couldn't last. On the other hand, another student I knew didn't have luck on her side. She didn't get the scholarship she hoped for. She worked 2 jobs to pay for school, sometimes exhausted and stressed. Yet she kept her integrity, her kindness, and her perseverance. Over time, people noticed. Professors supported her, employers trusted her, and opportunities began to flow. Not because of random luck, but because her merit created the conditions for lasting success. So let's sit with this thought for a moment. How many times in our lives have we hoped for luck when what we truly needed was readiness? How often do we pray for a breeze while ignoring the seeds we could be planting in our own soil? The Buddha's words are clear: nothing happens by accident. Every outcome has roots. If we want lasting blessings, we must cultivate the causes for them. Luck may knock on the door, but only merit allows us to open it and keep it open. And this is where I want to offer a gentle reminder. When luck does appear, don't just celebrate. Ask yourself, am I ready to honor this chance? Do I have the patience, the gratitude, and the wisdom to turn this into something lasting? Because if not, luck will leave as quickly as it came, like wind through open hands. Personally, I've experienced this in my own life. There were times when someone offered me an opportunity out of kindness, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't disciplined enough, or humble enough, or grateful enough, and I lost it. At the time, I blamed bad luck. But looking back, I see it clearly. The breeze came, but I had no roots to hold onto it. The good news, though, is that merit can always be cultivated. You don't need to wait for luck. You can start today, by practicing kindness, by keeping your promises, by choosing patience over anger, by giving more than you take. Each action plants a seed. And when luck passes by like a breeze, those seeds will drink it in and grow strong. So here's something to reflect on. Do you want your life to depend on the random breeze of luck, or on the steady roots of merit? Because luck may come or go, but merit is always in your hands. And maybe that's the greatest freedom of all. We don't need to sit around waiting for life to smile on us. We can create conditions for our own growth, so that when the breeze does blow, it doesn't just pass us by. It nourishes us, strengthens us, and turns into blessings that last. White right pointing backhand index. So let me leave you with this thought. Luck is temporary. Merit is enduring. One is like the wind, the other like the soil. Without soil, the wind changes nothing. But with soil prepared, even a passing breeze can help life bloom. In the next part of this series, we'll explore how to strengthen those roots of merit in everyday life, so that no matter what the winds of chance bring, you'll always have something solid to stand on. Blessings as solid ground. Have you ever tried to build something important in your life, only to realize the foundation wasn't strong enough to hold it? Maybe it was a relationship, maybe a career, maybe even your own sense of happiness. At first, everything seemed fine, until the storm came. And then suddenly, what felt solid began to collapse. That's exactly what it's like to live a life built only on luck. Luck is like building your house on sand. For a while, the walls might stand tall, the roof might look beautiful, and you might even feel proud of what you've created. But the moment heavy rain arrives, the sand shifts, and everything comes tumbling down. Blessings, or what some traditions call merit, are different. They're like building your house on solid rock. When life storms come, and they always come, the foundation holds. The winds may shake your walls, but your home stands strong because it rests on something steady. Now, here's the question I want to ask you. Which foundation are you building your life on, sand or stone? Luck or blessings? Let me paint a picture. Imagine two people. The first wins the lottery, millions of dollars overnight. At first, it feels like a dream come true. But if that person doesn't have wisdom, discipline, or generosity, if they lack blessings, what happens? We've seen this story play out again and again. Within a few years, the money is gone, relationships are broken, and the person often ends up worse off than before. The house on sand crumbled when the storms came. Now, picture another person. They never win the lottery. They don't stumble into sudden wealth. Instead, they work steadily, treat people with kindness, and live with gratitude. Over time, they build strong relationships, a reputation for integrity, and a quiet sense of peace. When difficulties come, illness, financial struggle, loss, they are not destroyed. Because they have blessings, they have an inner strength that protects and carries them through. Their house is built on rock. This is what the Buddha meant when he taught about cause and effect. Luck is temporary. Blessings are lasting. Luck may give you a sudden advantage, but blessings are what sustain you when life tests your foundation. Think about it. Blessings are not something you wait for. They are something you create. Every act of kindness, every honest effort, every time you choose patience over anger, you are laying down another stone in your foundation. Slowly, quietly, without fanfare, you're building a ground so solid that no storm can destroy it. I want to share something personal here. Years ago, I went through a very difficult season. Work was unstable, finances were tight, and my health was not at its best. From the outside, it looked like everything was falling apart. But what carried me through wasn't luck. It was the quiet strength of relationships I had nurtured over time. Friends who showed up. Family who supported me. Strangers who extended kindness when I least expected it. None of that came from chance. It came from years of sowing seeds of connection, kindness, and gratitude. That was my solid ground. That was my blessing. And here's something worth reflecting on. Storms don't come to test your luck. They come to test your foundation. When everything is easy, we don't notice what our life is built on. But when hardship comes, the truth is revealed. If your life rests on sand, it falls apart. If it rests on stone, you endure. This is why blessings matter so much more than luck. Luck may protect you for a day. Blessings protect you for a lifetime. So how do we cultivate blessings? It doesn't require grand gestures. You don't need to donate millions or renounce everything you own. It's much simpler and much more powerful. It starts in small, daily actions. Choosing honesty when lying would be easier. Offering help without expecting anything in return. Listening when someone needs to be heard. Practicing gratitude even when life feels unfair. Each of these actions is like placing another stone in your foundation. One by one, they create a strength that cannot be shaken. So I ask you, when the storms of life arrive, do you want to depend on luck or on blessings? Do you want your house to rest on sand or on stone? Here's the beautiful truth. Blessings don't run out. They don't fade away when luck does. They grow with you, they protect you, and they give you something money can't buy, peace of mind. And maybe, at the end of the day, that's the greatest wealth we can ever have. Not the fleeting winds of luck, but the steady ground of blessings that carry us through every season of life. White right pointing backhand index, so as you move forward, don't just pray for luck. Build blessings. Don't just wait for the wind. Lay the stones beneath your feet. Because when the storms come, and they always do, it's your foundation that will decide whether you fall or whether you stand. In the next part of this series, we'll explore practical ways to recognize and nurture the blessings already present in your life, because often, the rock we are standing on is stronger than we realize. The story of the wealthy but unhappy man. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who seemed to have it all. Money flowed into his life almost effortlessly. His business thrived, his house was enormous, his cars gleamed like polished jewels in the driveway. From the outside, people looked at him and thought, he must be the happiest man alive. But behind the gates of his mansion, a different reality unfolded. His family was falling apart. His children barely spoke to him. His wife lived in another wing of the house, and their conversations had turned cold and distant. His health was declining. Stress, sleepless nights, a body weighed down by habits of excess. He had all the luck in the world when it came to money, but he lacked blessings. And without blessings, no amount of luck could save him. It's a story that repeats itself more often than we like to admit. We live in a culture that equates wealth with happiness, success with peace. But if that were true, why do we see so many wealthy people who are restless, lonely, even broken inside? Why do we hear stories of celebrities, people with millions of fans and unimaginable fortunes, struggling with depression, addiction, or a deep sense of emptiness? It's because luck can give you wealth, but it cannot give you peace. It can buy you comfort, but it cannot buy you harmony. Luck can help you build a castle, but only blessings can make that castle feel like a home. I remember once meeting a man who told me something that stayed with me. He said, "I worked so hard to give my children everything I never had, private schools, vacations, the best clothes. But in the end, I realized I never gave them what they actually needed. My presence, my time, my love." That confession hit me hard, because it showed the difference between being lucky enough to provide materially and being blessed enough to create true connection. And that's really the heart of this message. Luck is external, blessings are internal. Luck can give you things, but blessings give you meaning. Now, let's pause and reflect for a moment. Ask yourself, what do I consider wealth? Is it the number in my bank account? The square footage of my house? Or is it the laughter of my family around the dinner table? The strength of my health? The calmness of my heart when I go to bed at night? Because here's the truth. Luck may put money in your hands, but blessings are what put peace in your heart. The Buddha once taught, not by wealth, but by conduct, is happiness found. And modern psychology actually backs this up. Studies show that after a certain level of income, enough to cover basic needs and a bit of comfort, money stops increasing happiness. What matters more are relationships, health, gratitude, and a sense of purpose. In other words, the very things tied to blessings, not luck. Think of it this way. Imagine two people. The first is rich in money but poor in blessings. He has a big house, but it's empty of love. He eats luxurious meals, but his health is crumbling. He travels the world, but his heart feels restless wherever he goes. The second person doesn't have millions, but is rich in blessings. He has a modest home filled with warmth and laughter. His health is cared for, not neglected. His friendships are deep, his nights are peaceful. When storms come, he may struggle, but he never feels truly alone. Now ask yourself, who is richer? I'm not saying money is bad. Money is a tool. It can create opportunities, solve problems, and bring comfort. But without blessings, money can also magnify suffering. A person with anger in their heart, when given wealth, only amplifies their anger. A person with greed, when given more, only multiplies their greed. But a person with blessings, kindness, wisdom, compassion, when given wealth, uses it to create even more good in the world. So the real question is not, how much money do I have? But what am I rooted in? Luck or blessings? Because blessings are what protect you when luck runs out. And luck always runs out eventually. Money can vanish. Business can fail. Beauty fades. But blessings, your integrity, your kindness, your gratitude, those stay with you. They protect your spirit even when everything else falls apart. Let me bring it back to the story of the wealthy but unhappy man. In the end, his fortune couldn't buy back his health. It couldn't rebuild his broken family. It couldn't give him a sense of peace when he was alone at night. His luck gave him the world, but without blessings, the world slipped through his fingers. And maybe that's the lesson we need to carry with us. Don't chase only luck. Cultivate blessings. Don't just work to fill your bank account. Work to fill your heart with peace, your home with love, your life with meaning. Because at the end of the day, no one remembers you for how much you owned. They remember you for how much you gave, how deeply you loved, and how fully you lived. That's the kind of wealth that never fades. That's the kind of wealth that storms cannot destroy. So, if you had to choose, would you rather be lucky or be blessed? The truth is, we don't have to choose. Luck may come and go like the wind, but blessings are something we can build every single day. With every choice, with every act of kindness, with every moment of gratitude, we lay down stones for a foundation that will outlast even the fiercest storm. And that, my friends, is the kind of wealth worth chasing. White right pointing backhand index in the next part, we'll talk about practical ways to recognize blessings already in your life, and simple steps to cultivate more of them, so that no matter how life shifts, you'll always have a ground of peace beneath your feet. Where blessings truly come from. Let me ask you a simple question. Where do blessings come from? Some people think blessings are random, like a lottery ticket. Others believe they're handed down by fate, something beyond our control. But if you look closer at life, you'll notice something different. Blessings don't fall from the sky like coins in a game machine. They grow. They grow from the soil of our actions, our intentions, and the way we live each day. True blessings come from doing good, from generosity, from kindness, from choosing compassion over cruelty, and from avoiding the harm that brings suffering to others. In other words, blessings come from the seeds we plant through our thoughts, words, and deeds. Let me tell you a story. There was once a poor farmer. His life was simple, his possessions few. He lived in a small house, wore worn-out clothes, and worked long, exhausting hours in the fields. By most definitions, he wasn't lucky. He didn't stumble into wealth, he didn't inherit land, he didn't win anything. But this farmer had something far greater than luck. He had a generous heart. Whenever a neighbor was sick, he would bring them food, even if it meant less for himself. When someone's ox broke down, he offered his own hands to help plow their fields. He welcomed travelers to share his meal, no matter how humble. He didn't do these things for recognition. He did them because it was his nature to care, to give, to see others as extensions of himself. As the years passed, people began to notice. His neighbors respected him deeply. His children grew up watching his kindness, and they carried those values in their own lives. When the farmer grew old and could no longer work, his community surrounded him with care. His children and grandchildren gathered around him, not out of duty, but out of genuine love and respect. At the end of his life, he had no fortune stored in banks, no titles or trophies to his name. But he had something most people spend their whole lives chasing: peace, honor, and the warmth of being truly cherished. That, my friends, is the power of blessings. Now compare that to someone who chases only luck. Maybe they win the lottery, maybe they strike gold in business. They get rich overnight. But if their heart is narrow, if they live only for themselves, if they hurt others in the process, then all that wealth becomes a cage. People may fear them, but they won't be loved. They may have followers, but not friends. And when their fortune fades, they'll find themselves standing on sand, with nothing solid beneath their feet. So let me repeat this. Blessings don't come from chance. They come from the goodness we create. In today's world, we often confuse convenience with blessing. We say, I got a promotion, what a blessing, or I bought a new car, what a blessing. But those are lucky breaks, not true blessings. A true blessing is when your heart is free of envy. A true blessing is when your children grow up with gratitude instead of entitlement. A true blessing is when you can close your eyes at night without regret, because you've lived with integrity. Think about it. How many people do you know who are rich but restless? And how many people do you know who live simply, but radiate joy? Modern research even backs this up. Psychologists have found that people who practice compassion and generosity are not only happier, but they also live longer, healthier lives. Their relationships are deeper, their stress levels lower. In other words, science is catching up to what ancient wisdom has been telling us all along. Blessings are not accidents. They are outcomes of a life rooted in goodness. Let's pause here and ask ourselves, what kind of seeds am I planting today? Am I planting seeds of resentment, greed, and selfishness? Or am I planting seeds of patience, kindness, and care? Because whatever seeds we plant, that is the harvest we, and our children, will reap tomorrow. I can share from my own experience. The people who left the biggest mark on my life weren't the ones with the most money, but the ones with the most generosity of spirit. The teacher who stayed after class to encourage me. The neighbor who helped when my family struggled. These were not lucky people by society standards. They were blessed, and their blessings touched everyone around them. That's the beautiful thing about blessings. They don't stop with you. When you live with compassion, the ripple spreads. Your children learn from your example. Your community feels your presence. Even strangers carry a piece of your kindness forward. Blessings multiply in ways luck never can. So if we want a life that stands strong in the face of storms, we need to build on the foundation of blessings. How do we do that? By living with integrity, by giving without expecting return, by choosing empathy over indifference, by avoiding harm where we can. It doesn't mean we have to be saints. It means that in small, ordinary moments, sharing a meal, offering a smile, being patient instead of harsh, we are shaping a life of true wealth. At the end of the day, luck is like the weather. It comes and goes, and we can't control it. But blessings are like the soil beneath our feet. The more we care for it, the more it nourishes us. So here's the real question. Do you want to chase luck, or do you want to cultivate blessings? Because luck may make you rich, but blessings will make you whole. Luck may give you fortune, but blessings will give you peace. Luck may fade with time, but blessings will grow deeper with every generation you touch. The poor farmer in our story was never considered lucky, but his life was overflowing with blessings, and that's what made him truly rich. And maybe, just maybe, that's the kind of wealth worth striving for. White right pointing backhand index in the next part, we could explore how to actively cultivate blessings in daily life, through simple, practical practices anyone can apply, no matter where they are. Why blessed people often seem lucky. Have you ever noticed how some people always seem to have good things happen to them? They find the right job at the right time. They meet the right people. Opportunities just seem to fall into their laps. From the outside, we call them lucky. But if you look closer, there's often something deeper at work. These people aren't simply rolling dice with the universe and getting 6 every time. Many of them are living in a way that naturally attracts good fortune. They carry a certain energy, an energy born from kindness, generosity, integrity. In other words, what we call luck is often just the natural result of blessings they've cultivated over time. Let me explain. Life is a little like farming. You plant seeds, and eventually, something grows. If you plant apple seeds, you get apples. If you plant thorns, you get bushes that hurt when you touch them. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but isn't that exactly how life works? When we sow patience, kindness, and compassion, we attract people and circumstances that mirror that back to us. When we sow greed, anger, or selfishness, eventually those same energies circle back around. This is the law of cause and effect. In many traditions, it's called karma. In everyday language, it's just, you reap what you sow. Let me share a story. There was a woman named Maria, a small business owner. She wasn't wealthy, at least not in the beginning. But she had a reputation in her town for always helping others. If a neighbor struggled, she was the first to bring food. If a competitor was short on supplies, she would lend some, even though it might cut into her own profit. She treated her employees with genuine respect, often sacrificing her own comfort to make sure they were taken care of. Years later, Maria's business suddenly grew. Out of nowhere, it seemed like opportunities just appeared. An investor showed up, a larger company partnered with her, customers trusted her without hesitation. From the outside, people said, "Wow, Maria is so lucky." But was it really luck? Or was it that her years of generosity created a ripple of trust and goodwill that eventually circled back in ways she couldn't have predicted? This is how blessings and luck connect. When you live with a generous heart, when you create goodness in the world, you generate an energy that draws more goodness toward you. Some call it divine grace, others call it positive vibration, others simply call it karma. Whatever name you give it, the truth is the same. Good seeds bring good fruit. Now, I'm not saying life becomes perfect. Even the most blessed people face challenges. But notice how they seem to navigate difficulties differently. It's almost like doors open for them when they need it most. Help arrives just in time. Opportunities appear right when they're ready. That's not coincidence. That's the echo of the seeds they've planted long ago. Think about it this way. Imagine two people walking into a room full of strangers. One carries an energy of warmth, openness, and sincerity. The other carries bitterness, entitlement, and suspicion. Who do you think will walk out with new friends or even new opportunities? Who will others want to help, to support, to connect with? That's not luck, it's attraction born of energy. And here's something fascinating. Modern science is starting to confirm this ancient wisdom. Studies in psychology show that people who practice kindness and generosity are more likely to receive help when they need it. Their networks are stronger, their communities more supportive. In short, kindness makes life easier not just morally, but practically. The energy you give really does shape the energy you receive. So when we say, that person is lucky, maybe what we really mean is, that person has cultivated blessings that are now flowering. But here's the important part. This isn't about performing good deeds as some sort of transaction, like putting coins in a vending machine and expecting blessings to pop out. Life doesn't work that way. True blessings come when kindness flows naturally from the heart, without expectation. It's the difference between planting a tree because you want fruit tomorrow, versus planting a tree because you know it will give shade and nourishment for generations to come. Let me pause and ask you, have you ever had a moment when something lucky happened to you, and later, when you traced it back, you realized it was connected to something good you'd done in the past? Maybe you helped someone years ago, and suddenly that person opened a door for you in return. Maybe you gave without thinking, and later found yourself receiving when you least expected it. Doesn't it make you wonder if luck is really just blessings in disguise? I've seen this in my own life. The times I was most generous, most compassionate, not calculating what I'd get back, that's when the most surprising opportunities seemed to show up. A chance meeting that led to a new career. A friend appearing at the exact moment I needed support. From the outside, it looked like luck. But deep down, I knew it was the quiet return of seeds I had sown long ago. This is why people with blessings often also seem lucky. Their life is aligned with the natural flow of giving and receiving. Their energy attracts possibilities. Their actions invite trust. Their presence creates harmony. And so, what looks like random fortune is actually the natural blossoming of cause and effect. So the next time you see someone who seems endlessly lucky, ask yourself, what seeds are they planting daily that make their garden flourish? And more importantly, what seeds am I planting? Because here's the beautiful truth. We don't have to wait for luck. We can create conditions for blessings to flow. We do this by choosing kindness when it's inconvenient, generosity when it costs us something, integrity when no one is watching. Over time, these choices build a momentum. And one day, when doors open and good fortune arrives, people will call it luck. But you will know, it was blessings all along. At the end of the day, luck is fleeting. But blessings, they last. They not only shape your life, but they ripple through your family, your community, and even future generations. So instead of chasing luck, let's cultivate blessings. Because when you do, luck has a way of finding you anyway. The challenge of luck without blessings. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of someone who seemed to have it all? Money, fame, opportunities, only to lose everything almost as quickly as they gained it? It's a story we see over and over again. The lottery winner who goes bankrupt within a few years. The overnight celebrity who crumbles under pressure. The entrepreneur who hits success early but ends up trapped in greed and arrogance until it all collapses. Why does this happen? It's because luck without blessings is a test, not a gift. You see, blessings aren't just about what comes to you from the outside. They're about the inner strength, humility, and wisdom you've cultivated on the inside. Without that foundation, sudden fortune can be more dangerous than misfortune. Because luck without virtue is like handing a child a sword. It's powerful, but without the maturity to use it, it becomes destructive. Let's take the story of lottery winners. Researchers have studied this, and the numbers are astonishing. Nearly 70% of people who win the lottery lose it all within just a few years. Some end up worse off than before: broken families, addictions, even debt. On the surface, they were lucky. But in reality, what they received was too much, too fast, without the inner preparation to handle it. Their sudden wealth amplified their weaknesses. If someone was reckless, they became more reckless. If someone was greedy, they became insatiable. That's the danger of luck without blessings. It doesn't change who we are, it magnifies who we are. Let me share a story. There was a man named Daniel who worked an ordinary job, always dreaming of a better life. One day, against all odds, he won millions in the lottery. At first, it was pure joy. He bought a big house, luxury cars, traveled the world. Friends surrounded him, parties filled his nights. But slowly, something shifted. The people around him weren't there for him anymore. They were there for his money. His generosity turned into arrogance. He stopped listening to advice, certain he knew best. Business ventures failed. His relationships fractured. Within 10 years, the fortune was gone. When Daniel looked back, he realized something painful. He had gained luck, but not blessings. He had received fortune, but without the inner wisdom to guide it, the money only became fuel for his downfall. Now, before we judge him, let's pause. Because this isn't just about lottery winners. Haven't we all, at some point, received something we weren't quite ready for? Maybe it was a promotion we weren't mature enough to handle, and we let power go to our head. Maybe it was a relationship we didn't appreciate until it was gone. Maybe it was money that slipped through our fingers because we hadn't learned discipline yet. In those moments, we see the truth. Without inner blessings, humility, gratitude, discipline, even the greatest luck can turn into a trap. So here's the deeper question. How do we prepare ourselves so that when fortune comes, we can handle it with grace? It starts with cultivating blessings before luck arrives. That means building character, practicing generosity, learning self-control, valuing relationships over possessions. Because these things are like roots. And if your roots are deep, even when sudden rain pours down, your tree will grow stronger instead of being washed away. Let's compare two people. One wins money after years of practicing generosity, discipline, and humility. They've learned to live with enough, to share, to respect others. When fortune comes, they see it as a responsibility, not just a gift. That's blessings. Now imagine someone else who wins the same money, but they've lived in resentment, greed, or entitlement. Without blessings, fortune only feeds their darker impulses. That's why luck without blessings so often ends in loss. I want you to think about this. Sometimes, what we call bad luck might actually be protection. Maybe the reason we haven't received sudden fortune yet is because life knows we are still building the blessings to handle it. And maybe that's not a curse at all. It's grace in disguise. There's a saying I love: wealth that comes overnight leaves overnight. Wealth that comes with virtue stays. And this isn't just about money. It's about every kind of fortune. Success, relationships, opportunities. If they come faster than our inner growth, they can break us instead of bless us. So when you see someone who seems to rise quickly but fall just as fast, remember this: luck alone isn't enough. What matters is the foundation beneath it. Blessings are what allow us to carry fortune without being crushed by it. And maybe, just maybe, the real question isn't how can I get lucky, but how can I cultivate blessings so that when luck does arrive, I'll be ready. Because in the end, luck without blessings is like a storm without roots. It looks powerful for a moment, but it cannot last. Blessings are what make luck sustainable, what turn fortune into legacy instead of loss. So let's not chase after sudden luck. Let's build the blessings that allow us to hold it with wisdom when it comes. Because the truth is, luck can open doors, but only blessings make sure those doors stay open. How to cultivate blessings in everyday life. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who, no matter where they go, seems to carry a kind of invisible light with them? Things just seem to work out for them. People trust them. Opportunities find them. And even when life throws challenges their way, they somehow land on their feet. What's their secret? It's not just luck. It's something deeper. It's what many traditions call blessings. Now, blessings aren't just religious words. Think of them as the invisible credit of good energy, goodwill, and wisdom that we build throughout our lives. And the truth is, blessings don't come by accident. They're cultivated. Just like a garden, they need to be planted, watered, and cared for. So how do we actually cultivate blessings? There are 3 timeless practices that can transform your life: keeping a kind heart, learning to share, and nurturing wisdom. Let's walk through them one by one. 1. Keeping a kind heart. It all begins inside. You know, our thoughts and intentions are like seeds. When we hold kindness in our hearts, we are planting seeds that eventually bloom into trust, connection, and peace. Think about it. Haven't you noticed that when you walk into a room with a calm, kind attitude, people naturally open up to you? And when you carry bitterness or anger, even if you don't say a word, people feel it. Our inner state radiates outward. There's an old teaching that says, a mind filled with kindness is like a fragrance. You may not see it, but everyone can sense it. I remember a small story from my own life. I once met a taxi driver who seemed to be glowing with joy. He didn't have much, just a modest living, but he greeted every passenger with warmth, asked how their day was, and genuinely cared. By the time I left his car, I felt lighter, inspired. That man may not have been rich in dollars, but he was overflowing with blessings. Because blessings begin in the heart. 2. Learning to share. The second practice is generosity. And I don't just mean giving away money. Sharing can be as simple as offering time, a listening ear, or even a smile. Generosity is powerful because it flips the story of scarcity. When we share, we are telling life, I have enough. I trust that more will come. And life responds in kind. Think of people who volunteer, who mentor, who give without expecting anything back. Somehow, they always seem to attract more kindness in return. It's not magic, it's cause and effect. One of the clearest examples is community. Imagine 2 neighbors. One keeps to themselves, always locking doors tight, never speaking, never sharing. The other brings cookies to the neighborhood potluck, helps shovel snow for the elderly couple next door, checks in when someone's sick. Which neighbor do you think the community rallies around when they need help? Exactly. Sharing doesn't just bless others, it builds a web of blessings that supports you too. 3. Nurturing wisdom. And finally, wisdom. This is the practice that keeps everything balanced. Because kindness without wisdom can be naive. Generosity without wisdom can be wasteful. But when you add wisdom, blessings become steady and lasting. Wisdom means taking time to reflect, to learn from experiences, to see beyond the surface of things. It could be reading, meditating, journaling, or simply asking deeper questions. Why am I reacting this way? What can I learn from this challenge? What really matters in the long run? When we nurture wisdom, we begin to live with clarity. We are less likely to be trapped by greed or fear. And that clarity itself becomes a blessing, because it guides our decisions in ways that create harmony instead of chaos. The ancient teaching. There's a story the Buddha once taught. He said, "For the one who has wisdom and virtue, blessings follow them like a shadow that never leaves the body." Think about that. Blessings aren't random lightning strikes. They're faithful companions, like shadows, always there when we walk in the right direction. This teaching is profound because it flips our usual way of thinking. Most people chase luck, chase fortune, chase external things. But true blessings don't need to be chased. They naturally follow when we live with kindness, generosity, and wisdom. A reflection for us today. Now, let's bring this down to our modern world. Many of us measure success by numbers. How much money we make, how many followers we have, how many goals we've achieved. But here's the paradox. I've met wealthy people who are miserable, and I've met people of very modest means who radiate joy. The difference? Blessings. Because blessings give us something luck alone never can: peace of mind. When you live with kindness, you sleep at night knowing you haven't harmed anyone. When you share, you feel connected instead of alone. When you nurture wisdom, you see life clearly instead of stumbling in confusion. And that peace, that trust, that clarity, That's worth more than any lottery ticket. A question for you. So here's a question I'd love for you to sit with. What's one small way you can cultivate blessings today? Maybe it's choosing patience instead of snapping at someone. Maybe it's sending a kind message to a friend. Maybe it's putting down your phone for 10 minutes to read something that expands your mind. Remember, blessings aren't built in one grand act. They're accumulated in countless small moments. Like drops of water filling a jar, over time, they become an ocean that carries you through life. Closing thought. So the next time you find yourself hoping for luck, pause. Instead of asking, how can I get lucky? Maybe ask, how can I build blessings? Because luck is fleeting, it comes and goes. But blessings, once cultivated, stay with you. They follow you faithfully, like a shadow, guiding you through both good times and hard times. And maybe that's the greatest secret of all. We don't need to chase luck. We just need to live in a way that blessings can't help but follow us. Closing message plus teaser for next episode. So as we come to the end of this journey together, let me leave you with one final picture. Imagine a flash of lightning. It cuts through the sky, bright, sudden, dazzling. For a brief second, it feels like the whole world is lit up. But then, it's gone. Darkness returns. That, my friends, is luck. It's quick, intense, sometimes breathtaking, but always temporary. Now imagine the sun. It doesn't shock you with sudden brilliance. Instead, it rises slowly, steadily, bringing warmth that lasts throughout the day. It nurtures life. It gives energy. It sustains everything around it. That's what blessings are. Quiet, patient, but enduring. And this is the truth I want you to carry with you. Luck is only lightning, but blessings are the sunlight. If we spend our lives chasing lightning, we may experience moments of thrill, but we'll always be left in the dark again. If we nurture blessings, though, we create a steady source of light that follows us every single day. Think about it. How many times have we heard stories of someone winning the lottery, stumbling into sudden fortune, only to lose it all within a few years? Their lives spiral, their relationships crumble, and they end up worse than before. That's lightning without sunlight. And on the other hand, how many people do we know who, even with modest means, radiate joy, peace, and stability? They may never have won the lottery, but they've cultivated kindness, generosity, and wisdom. Their lives shine with a steady brightness. That's sunlight. The difference is profound. Because happiness built on luck is fragile, but happiness built on blessings is unshakable. Now here's the thing, blessings aren't complicated. They don't require perfection. They simply ask for daily practice, small seeds of kindness, little acts of generosity, moments of reflection. Over time, those seeds grow into a forest of blessings that shades and protects us. And let me tell you something personal. The times in my life when I felt the most empty were the times I was chasing lightning, hoping for that one big break, that sudden miracle, that shortcut. It never lasted. But the times when I found true peace were the seasons when I focused on cultivating sunlight, on building good habits, caring for others, learning, growing. That warmth stays. It doesn't burn out when the storm passes. So the question I want to leave you with today is this. What light are you chasing? The lightning or the sun? If you want a happiness that doesn't fade, if you want peace that doesn't depend on luck, then the answer is clear. Start planting blessings, one day at a time. And don't worry, you don't have to figure it out all at once. That's what our next video is for. Because in the next episode, we are going to explore something very practical. How do we actually plant blessings in our everyday lives? No matter who you are, whether you're busy with a career, raising a family, or simply trying to find a bit of balance, we'll talk about concrete ways you can weave blessings into your day. Small actions that create big changes over time. So if today's message resonated with you, stay tuned. Because the journey doesn't end here, this is just the beginning. Remember, luck is lightning, but blessings are the sun. And if you want lasting happiness, don't chase storms. Grow sunlight. Until next time, take care of your heart, share a little kindness, and keep walking in wisdom. The blessings you plant today will be the sunlight of your tomorrow.